So actually what we did is like a couple of years ago, like more than 3 years ago, we gradually started opening Viber, our ecosystem for businesses, which means that initially like we exposed a couple of APIs that allowed companies to connect to Viber and have their own channel. For example, have a chatbot, like some little system that can allow end users and clients of these companies to connect via Viber, to use us as a communication channel. And later on, what we continue to do is to allow businesses to also use Viber as a notification tool, because originally everyone uses SMS, for example. If you want to reach to your existing user base, you can send them a campaign with SMS or email or something like that. But honestly speaking, not too many people now read SMS, or they know where the SMS application on their phone is. So it's much better, for example, to get a notification on Viber, for example, from your bank about something that happened, the transaction, if your credit card is ready and you can take it, or to check where the nearest ATM is. So there is another opportunity where the bank, for example, can actually connect to the existing user on Viber through the API and push them a message on Viber. And like you read your notifications on Viber. Like if you're a user, you want to see what's going on. If you receive something, within 3 minutes you read it. So the conversion is much higher, and you can use that for marketing purposes. So that's like the standard base. And a lot of companies have been working with so far for these 3 years, and we've been gaining a lot of experience in this field. Like Viber originated as a startup more than 6-7 years ago, and we have always had in mind quality and the security of the users. Actually, it was like one of the first applications to be end-to-end encrypted, for example. Like all of your personal communication, like your chats with friends on Viber, are end-to-end encrypted, meaning that we don't have any access to the content, and we would not use that because we cannot read it. It's fully encrypted. Only the two smartphones at the two ends can actually read the information. So we are all about privacy, and actually we're like proud of that because it's been part of our values so far, and it continues to be. So these things that happen with our competitors only prove to show that we are on the right path, because for us that's a must. Like we always care about user privacy, and now like last year GDPR was introduced, so we also complied with that. And even like the developments that had to be done because of GDPR in Europe, we also launched them in other countries around the world, for example in Asia, because we thought that it's good to be transparent with the users, for example. So yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, in Viber there are more than, I don't know, maybe 20-30 different nationalities right now. Like I communicate with people from all around the world, and we have offices starting from the Philippines, Manila, Myanmar, then going to Russia, Ukraine, Europe, London, Paris, United States. So it's a big mixture of culture. And as you said, the startup originally was founded in Israel, with some part of it in Belarus, and currently in Belarus we have like more than 100 people in the local office that are supporting the development of the application. And in 2014 we were bought by Rakuten. Rakuten is like a really, really big Japanese company, one of the top companies in the region. They are e-commerce company. And again, they started as a startup in the late 90s, and actually the founder is still the CEO. They expanded a lot, and we have a lot of synergies, and it's different culture. Like it's obvious, the Japanese way of doing business, but it also helps us a lot, because it's for the Japanese culture, it's not always about imminent revenue, about higher profits, about more users today. It's about making a quality product, and it's about making sure that it brings some value to the users. And we've seen that in reality also with their other business verticals. So I think it's a really, really good combination to have that many nationalities. Well, obviously, as any messenger, it boomed really fast, because the quality of the service was high. So basically we attracted a lot of users from all around the world, and then all of a sudden we came up with hundreds of millions of users. So it's natural that the revenues don't come first, but that's the interesting business model that we work with, because all of our competition as well, they originated as platform to connect millions of people around the world, and that's the main purpose of the messaging application. And from there on, obviously Rakuten saw some potential to have the possibility to work with such huge user bases around the world. And gradually we actually started making some revenue out of our services, out of positioning some advertisement within Viber, but in a smart way. And we're doing good. As we're part of Rakuten, I cannot share like specific revenue numbers, but we're doing really, really good. I believe we're performing at the best levels worldwide in terms of revenue. I think we are top 4 messaging applications in most of the countries around the world. Some of them are part of like the Facebook family, and there are some local players, for example, Middle East, or in Asia, in Vietnam, there are some local players, but essentially is I would say 3 or 4 big applications. For example, also Telegram is emerging here and there, but I cannot speak about competition. They know their data better. What I can say is that fortunately Viber is either the top performing messaging application or the second one growing in the markets in around Central Eastern Europe, Middle East, North Africa, Southeast Asia, Russia, CIS countries. So there are a lot of places where we're like the top player. So we still have office in Tel Aviv. The major part of our product team is there. And then I mentioned Belarus. We have 150 employees maybe that are developers for the client version of the application. So we have a big office there. We use cloud data centers mainly. So we use Amazon web services. That's the majority of the servers are like that. Sure, our office actually, we have an office responsible for Central and Eastern Europe, including Hungary. So the team is not directly in Budapest, but the way we work is with partners. So for example, say you want to have a chatbot, then we can recommend at least 3-4 companies that are situated here that are developing chatbots for Viber. And they have the know-how, they read the API, they know how it works, and they can give you advice how to do it. Same goes for example, business messaging. If you want to push a bulk campaign on Viber, we can connect you with local partners that do it. And obviously, if you have some questions, something is not clear, you can reach out directly to us and we'll facilitate the process. That's our role. Try to be innovative and try a new channel such as Viber, because obviously, as I said, we have opened our platform, we have opened a couple of APIs they can connect to, they can experiment, they can try things, they can try to connect with their users over Viber. And I'm pretty sure they'll find out that the conversion is higher, and people actually like that. Like, I like to get messages from my bank because it's more useful to me. I can reply with a button instead of having to call and wait on the IVR. So don't be afraid to experiment with new things, because especially I'm talking with a lot of banks, telecoms, and it's like big corporations with a lot of legal procedures, compliance procedures, and they're afraid like to take big risks, especially if you're a bank. That's okay. But then again, the future is here. Like, everyone is using messages in these countries, Viber is with really high penetration, so it doesn't hurt to try. And then from there on, they will see how the conversion goes. And the second thing is we're really flexible. Like, even the reason that we are here, we are participating in events, we are producing a lot of local content. So we have stickers, for example, in Hungarian. Many of the chatbots are in Hungarian already. So basically, none of our competition will do that. But we want to be as local as possible because we believe that makes difference for the user.